Good morning, everyone. Kevin Deitch, National Weather Service, St. Louis. Just wanted to give you a quick update this morning.
A weather update following a natural disaster.
That's what we're expecting for today.
An update to keep cleanup crews safe as they clear what Mother Nature has left behind.
Temperatures will be nice and cool.
As it's not just about forecasting, it's a matter of keeping people safe.
Keep those rain chances and thunderstorm chances in through next week.
When communities experience extreme weather, it's these regional outposts that work every day to serve the public. The National Weather Service is a branch of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA. It's also a branch that has seen significant cuts under the Trump administration. And with recent scrutiny over the ability of forecasters to do their jobs, especially after deadly flooding in Texas, we wanted to see what kind of work goes on at a local office and measure what impact their work has on the community. These images are what Kevin Deitch and the rest of the staff at the St. Louis Region National Weather Service did not want to see. They are the images from an F3 tornado that ripped through the city on May 16th.
It's sobering. It's something you don't want to see. But at the same time, we think we're saving lives when we do it.
On the day of the storm, it was all hands on deck. That means all 25 employees played a role in warning the community. This means 2 sets of eyes on each key position: radar, warning systems, flood stages, communication with the media, just to name a few.
It's really important to have 2 people to kind of check each other and making sure that we're not missing anything. And another big piece of it is when we actually draw our warnings, our polygons, we're really careful about what counties we want to include.
It also means these same individuals ventured out after the storm to see the destruction left behind. It's members of the NWS that tour the devastation to rate the damage level that can ultimately lead to government aid.
Seeing places, that you've been, areas that you used to, be around, just devastated.
Storm warnings and surveys are a large part of what meteorologists do at regional offices, but it's not all. One
of the main things that we do kind of day-to-day routinely are what we call terminal aerodrome forecasts, or TAFs, airport forecasts for simplicity.
That's 6 airports in the St. Louis region that rely on the data shared from this weather station.
Planes need a lot of information from the weather to land, right? So they need to know wind direction. That affects what runway they use. Typically they want to land into the wind. They want to know visibility, how are they going to be able to see the runway? They want to know how low those clouds are, how low that cloud deck is. And so it's a big piece of our job to give them that information. So we do these airport forecasts every 6 hours. For Lambert, given it's an international airport with a lot more traffic, we do their forecast every 3 hours.
The summer months are particularly busy.
What you see here, these little dots, those are what we call our DSS events, our Decision Support Service events. And what those are people in the community, public safety officials have asked us to kind of keep a weather watch on all those events for the day.
All of those little dots are an outdoor event where public safety is in play.
You might be at a concert, have no idea that the National Weather Service is involved, but we're actually keeping an eye for it, here from the office, which is pretty cool.
They can make the warnings and hope they will be heeded, as was not the case on July 4th in Texas, when the Weather Service issued a warning 90 minutes before the flood, yet it was ignored. The Weather Service presence is not always about the weather.
We actually do hazmat support. So you think of, if there's a chemical spill or, there's nitric acid, God forbid, leaking into the atmosphere, we can provide first responders with a plume of where that's going to go. And not just where it's going to go now, but for first responders when they're trying to figure out where to evacuate.
We asked Deitch whether artificial intelligence could eventually take over. While some automation is already in use, he says it's the human judgment that matters most, like coordinating with road crews during a snowstorm or deciding when to call in the National Guard for disaster cleanup. Those are not decisions AI can make from data alone. AI also cannot send up a weather balloon, collect the data, then decide what piece of the weather puzzle fits into a forecast. AI simply spits out data.
We rely so much on our partners, on our TV meteorologists to convey that information for us. But we're kind of the ones in the background, diagnosing the radar, using the scientific research and knowledge that we have to put those warnings out. And we really try to find that balance of not warning too much, but making sure we hit, the big things to make sure that people stay safe.
With all these levels of public service, starting salary, $30 grand. The men and women who make sure your planes take off safely top out at $100,000. So why do they do it?
I'm blessed in the sense that I've wanted to be a meteorologist since I was 6 years old.
This is not a job, this is a passion, it's a calling.
Congressman Mike Flood of Nebraska is among a coalition on Capitol Hill working to protect the jobs of those working in public safety.
You know, it's a core public safety function of the United States government. It is one of the most trusted agencies by Americans in this era of very divisive issues.
Which is why Congressman Flood wants to make sure the National Weather Service and its parent, NOAA, not only receive a distinction of public safety, but also stay a part of the federal government.
If you were to privatize this, think about how we'd have trouble with accountability, because what the National Weather Service does is it ripples through aviation.
In June, the congressman introduced the Weather Workforce Improvement Act, a bipartisan-backed bill that grants the National Weather Service the ability to hire positions based on the need for public safety.
And it will go a long way to give the agency more options to maintain its workforce when a federal buyout or job cuts are looming as directed by the executive branch.
A commitment the congressman is willing to stand up for.
We take accurate weather forecasting for granted because we've had it so good for so long. And we've even let some of our radar systems kind of, fall into disrepair. We need to make sure we're investing and we have the best radar and we have the best technology.
And the peace of mind that the people predicting storms while we sleep at night have a passion to protect.
There are still people my age that don't know what they want to do for a living. I've known since I was a kid, so I get to do my hobby as a job, and it's pretty awesome.
House Referendum 3809 currently sits in the House Science, Space, and Technology Committee. For more information about the National Weather Service and services they provide, download the Straight Arrow News app.